And here it is, the lineup on Friday, September 11th. This is the Hall of Fame induction night. The red carpet show right here on NBA TV at 5:30. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony on ESPN. That is at 6:30. And then at 9, it's the Hall of Fame induction ceremony encore right here on NBA TV. David Robinson, one of the greatest centers of all time. Smitty, you a former teammate of the Admiral. We're going to show you his accomplishments here in just a moment, but just a fabulous player. Played both ends at an extremely high level.
And you said it right. Played both ends, unselfish. You know, when I started to look back at my career, watching basketball for all the years and getting a chance to play with some of the greats and against, and I put David Robinson at the top of the list when you talk about combining the person off the court and the player on the court. When you combine those two, he's number one in my book because it's an unbelievable guy for his talent and then even a better person.
And as you can see, won Defensive Player of the Year back in 1992, also won a scoring title, won 2 Olympic gold medals. And right now we take a look back at the Hall of Fame career of David Robinson.
The San Antonio Spurs select David Robinson from Navy.
Spurs down by 1. Sean Elliott with 4. There it is, Robinson. He hammers it home.
He was Dwight Howard before Dwight Howard ever was Dwight Howard. He was the first guy that we seen like that, at that size, on a consistent basis.
Weber, great shot by Robinson. What a play. Robinson, look out if he starts hitting that one.
David Robinson was really the first 7-foot guy who could run, who could jump. It was really quite something to behold that a 7-foot guy could run and jump like that.
What a job by David at both ends of the floor. He saw nobody between he and the Admiral, and he decided to go military with it.
May I serve you a dunk, sir? David Robinson nails another. That's unstoppable when you go in and you're 7'1".
Him being a really good jump shooter, left-handed, it was a nightmare matchup for every center in the league.
Congratulations, David Robinson, 1995 NBA MVP.
Well, David was one of those big guys that could do just about everything. He was also a big competitor. You know, he wanted to win. Certainly, his presence always was felt when he was on the court.
David Robinson was one of the most unique big men we've ever seen in basketball.
And alley-oop, Anderson to Robinson.
Oh, my. Ejected by Robinson. Robinson takes it inside.
David Robinson with the slam back.
You hear so many stories about guys who don't get it done. That will never be a chapter in David Robinson's book.
The Admiral fighting the final wave. About to come to shore with his second crown.
Awesome feature right there. And now a very special moment here on Game Time. We're going to bring in Steve Kerr, currently president of basketball operations and general manager of the Phoenix Suns, on the phone from Phoenix to talk about David Robinson. Smitty, David Robinson, and Kerr won a championship together with the Spurs back in 2003. Kerr won 5 championships, 2 with David, 99 and 03 with the Spurs. Steve, welcome to the program. Great to have you.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Now, I want to ask you this, Steve. First of all, what do you think will be David Robinson's legacy? Will it be being the most athletic center of all time? Do you think he will go down as that in NBA history?
Well, it'll be interesting because you heard Dwight Howard's name mentioned there. I think it was Kenny Smith talking about him, and Dwight, eventually may surpass David in that category. I don't know, but David was definitely the first guy that I think you could really say at that center position was just that quick and that fast and ran the floor as well as he did. Centers just didn't do that, and there still aren't many of them who do. So David was just an incredibly unique player, and as Steve said, a very unique individual as well. A really, really bright guy with all kinds of interests beyond basketball. But he dominated play in his prime and was a great teammate and was an awful lot of fun to play with.
Well, Steve, kind of echoing what you said, for me, getting a chance to play with David Robinson, playing against him all those years, and a lot of times when you become a teammate, it's a different person or a different player. David Robinson was that same guy as an opponent and as a teammate. Do you agree with that, Steve?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you knew what you were going to get every night, whether you were playing against him or with him. He was going to dominate the paint, dominate that rim area. If you were playing against him, you were always aware of David's presence. So even the shots that he didn't block, he altered just by being there. And then in transition, the point guards he played with, particularly, Avery Johnson, I mean, those guys were handed about 3 or 4 assists per game just by throwing the ball up at the rim, because David would beat his man down the floor, and he was so athletic and long, he could just chase everything down and finish it. So, yeah, he was an incredibly unique player and certainly a well-deserving Hall of Famer, that's for sure.
And David Robinson, one of 5 incredible basketball figures going into the Hall of Fame in a couple of weeks, September 10th through the 12th in Springfield, Massachusetts. Steve, you've been around the NBA a long time. I know you're an NBA historian. Is this the greatest Hall of Fame class of all time?
I don't know if I am an NBA historian. If I were, I would have already done that research. But I think you could make a case for that without having gone into depth with that. But you look at Jordan and David Robinson, and I know Doug Collins is getting honored for his broadcasting accomplishments. Johnny Red Kerr is another name who's being honored there. I mean, there are some incredible names that are going to be inducted or at least honored at the Hall of Fame ceremonies this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, Steve, we appreciate your time. Enjoying yourself in Phoenix this summer, I'm sure. We'll let you get back to that, and we'll talk to you down the line.
All right. Thanks, guys.